Unit 6 test review. Question 1. We're solving for x using setmap. So basically, we're removing house first, and then removing everything outside of the house first, and then remove everything outside of x in the order of setmap. So let's see on both sides. On the right side, I actually prefer to write the x in the left side because I'm solving for it. I like to write it on the left side. So 6x plus 1 equal 24. Okay. Outside of the house, I need to remove everything first. Do I have subtraction, addition? No. I have division, multiplication. That's the 6 times. So I divide both sides by 6. And then it leaves me the house x plus 1 equal, okay, 24 over 6. 24 over 6 is 4. And then now let's look at the exponent. For the exponent, I square on both sides to remove the square root because the opposite of square root is square. So I can remove the square and square root. So it just leaves me x plus 1 on the left side, and the right side 4 squared is 16. So now I need to remove everything outside of x in the order of setback. So now I have subtraction, addition. I minus 1 on both sides. I got x equal 15. That's your final answer. All right. Then question 2. And to make this smaller, or I'll just move this. Okay. Question 2, we're simplifying radicals. To simplify radical, step 1 is always menu, choose 3 to factor out the number and replace the number only. So I got 56 is 2 to the power of 3 times 7. And then the power of 7 is 1. And then I bring down everything else. The x 5, y 1, z 4. Okay, then it is a cube root. So don't forget the cube root. Now I'm gonna label my index. Index is 3, and my powers are 3, 1, 5, 1, 4. I'm gonna highlight the terms that are either that have power greater than or equal to index. So it's basically inside greater than and equal to outside. Now I'm gonna highlight the 2/3, 3 and 3, they are equal. And then x to the 5th, inside is greater than outside. And then C4. For inside greater than outside, I'm gonna take them out. They're gonna be both inside and outside. So they're gonna form groups. 2xc, and then they'll stay inside. 2, then I'm subtracting the power minus index. So 3 minus 3. And then times 7, 1, because inside is less than outside, I'll just bring down. And then x to the power of 5th, 5 minus 3. It'll give me the remainder. And then y1, because it's less than, I'll just bring down. And then c4, 4 minus 3. This will give me the index. This will give me the remainder. Because 3 can only goes into 3 ones and into 5 ones and into 4 ones. So the groups, they're all one. So I don't have to write it down. Now it's almost my final step. So 2xc cube root of 2, 3 minus 3 is 2, 0. And basically it's just 1. I don't have to write it in my next step. And then 7, 1, I just bring down x 5 minus 3 is x squared. And then y 1. And then c 4 minus 3 is c 1. So my last step is I don't have to write down the 2 to the power of 0 because it's 1. So 2xc cube root of 7 times x squared times yc. That's my final answer. Okay, question 3. If I see those rational exponent, I need to flip it and put it on both sides. So I'm gonna put 2 over 3 on both sides. And then on the left side, it'll just be what's inside the parentheses, which is x plus 4. On the right side, it'll be 64 to the power of 2 over 3. And you need to put this into calculator. So you're typing caret, control, okay, 64 caret, control, and 2, control divide 2, then 3. So it'll give you x plus 4 equal, this should be 16. And then you need to leave x alone. You're using set map to leave x alone. So basically you're just subtracting 4 on both sides. And x should be 16 minus 4. Pick your final answer. Question 4. Which equation best represent the graph? To find the graph, to find the slope of cubic function, you always start from the inflection point, which for this question is 0, 0, low, or 0, 0. And you go right 1 point, that's a run. Run is always equal 1. You go right 1 point, and then you go up, you find a point that touches the graph. The first point that touches the graph. And I see this point is 4. So the run from 1 going up is 4. Rise is 4. Run is always 1 to the right. So rise over run is 4. Pick your final answer. And then question 5. For radical function, radical graph, your HK is the starting point. So for this question, the starting point is -3, -2. Okay. And I know H will be opposite, so the -3 will be opposite. So when it become inside the house, it'll be x plus 3. The -3 will be plus 3. And the K stays the same, so -2. All right, question 6. It asks you to solve for x. Again, we're using set map. So set map to remove everything outside the house first, and then remove everything outside of x. That's the order of removing using set map. Remove that outside the house, and then remove outside of x. Okay. Now let's see. Outside of house, I do have subtraction and addition. And to remove the 15 by -15 on both sides. So it gets canceled out. It leaves me x plus 3 equal minus 15 equal 10. And then, do I have division and multiplication outside of house? No. Okay. Now let's remove the exponent. What's the opposite of square root? It is square. So we square on both sides. My square root and square got cancel out. So x plus 3 equal 100. And then to leave x alone by subtracting 3 on both sides. Pick your final answer. Question 7. What is the value of x? So still solving for x. We're using SATMAP. So what is the opposite of a cube root? It is a cube. Okay, I don't have anything outside of the house, so the only thing I need to do is to remove the cube root. I'm gonna cube on both sides. Okay, so the cube root and the cube got canceled out. So x minus 14 equal, what is 6 to the power of 3? You can refer to the perfect cheat sheet on the wall. It is 216. And then I need to leave x alone by add 14 on both sides. So pick your final answer. Question 8. For a radical function or square root function, the domain is always from the domain is always from h to infinity. And for positive a, so like for our question, this one is positive a. Positive a, the graph is going up like this, and then the range will be from k to infinity. For negative a, the graph is going down like this. The range is from negative infinity to k. Okay, for this parent function h is 0, h and k, they're both 0. H and k, they're both 0, 0. So pick your final answer. Question 9. Question 9 is the inverse question. So let's look at the question first. For inverse, here is the example of inverse. I'll give you one example. If I have 1 over x and x, they're reciprocal. They're one kind of inverse. So what is 1 over x times x? Is 1. And then what is x times 1 over x? It's still 1. Okay? That is a kind of inverse. So for our question, it says the function f times the function g is equal x. So fx is basically, when we rewrite it, it will be f of x times g of x equal x. And then that question is asking you, what does g x times fx equal? So it's g of x times f of x. Okay, they're the same thing, so it's also equal to x. Same thing. Okay, question 10. It's asking you about horizontal shifting, horizontal shift, because it's inside the house. Inside house, refer to horizontal and horizontal, and it's for letter H. So here is the trick you may write down on your cheat sheet. Square root of negative h is always go to the right. If inside house is negative h, it goes to the right. If inside the house is positive h, it goes to the left. And for this one, inside the house is negative h. So which direction does it go? Pick pick the answer. Question 11. What is the inverse function? Okay, to find the inverse function, step 1 is to scratch out the y, become x, the x will become the y. Let's rewrite it. It'll be x equal y squared plus 7. And then I prefer to write what I'm solving for on the left side, because inverse function, I'm solving for y. So I'll swap left and right. I'll have y squared plus 7 equal x. And then I need to remove everything outside of y. First thing, I need to subtract the 7 on both sides. So it leaves me y squared equal x minus 7. And then I need to remove the square outside of y. So I take square root on both sides. So square root and square gets canceled out. It'll just be y equal square root of x minus 7. And then I need to find the restriction of x. To find the restriction of x, I just take what is inside the square root and put it greater than or equal to 0. So x minus 7 greater than or equal to 0 plus 7 on both sides. It'll just be x greater than or equal to positive 7. Okay, so these are my answer. Question 12. Question 12. The positive 3 is outside the house is your letter K. Outside of house is K. And K is up or down. For positive K, it goes up. Negative K goes down. For this one, positive 3, which direction does it go? Okay. That's it. Finish your test review. It worth 200 points or 2 minor grades on your grade book. Good luck on your test.